From the south to the north, America has many prestigious neighborhoods to choose from. If you can afford to reside in an affluent area with expensive real estate and great schools, then take a look at these top 10 richest counties in the U.S. Fort Bend County, Texas. The second biggest U.S. state, after Alaska, not only boasts its vast territory, but is also some of the wealthiest counties in the country. Fort Bend County's population is a little under 1 million people, and it includes the likes of Rosenberg, Sugar Land, Pecan Grove, and the Sienna Plantation, all of which are located in the southwest section of Houston, Texas. The county is very safe, vibrant, and diverse, with it having one of the highest median household incomes in the whole country, almost $98,000 a year. Surprisingly, even though the income here is a little on the rise, the cost of living is still one of the lowest in the U.S., about 2% lower than the national average, making this county very attractive for Americans to move to. You are going to keep most of your money since no income taxes from the state are being charged, and that means that more cash can be checked into your account and a comfortable retirement scenario is available to you since you'll be able to get the full Social Security pension when you stop working. Texas is known for its very prominent oil and gas companies, with Houston being one of the most famous oil-producing cities. Here, oil is the main source of income for many who live in the area, bringing in billions of dollars in profit to literally hundreds of thousands that reside in the county. Therefore, people who are employed in the field are making really good money. The other popular areas providing great jobs are healthcare and energy workers. In case you're lucky enough to have a diploma in either of these fields under your belt, then be prepared to live like a king. Now, let's go to the northeast of Texas to the Buckeye State. Delaware County, Ohio. Even though the name of this county may suggest that it's located in the state of Delaware, don't get it twisted. In fact, it's located in Ohio. Ranked as the 6th richest county in the United States, its salaries are very decent, with an average median household income of $102,000. However, the cost of living in this county is 5% above the national average, making it a bit more costly to live here than back in the great state of Texas. Something that you'll find in regards to the county is its population, which is much more spread out compared to the above-described Lone Star State, making it where 210,000 residents won't be elbow to elbow with you in your local neighborhood. The housing market might not be the cheapest compared to the whole state of Ohio, but it's still relatively inexpensive compared to the national real estate numbers. You can buy a decent-sized house for about $340,000, and with a median income being in the high end, one can live very comfortably, actually pocketing some cash after all the bills are paid. Somebody might say that you would live like true royalty. Well, this next state screams royalty, as the name of the county suggests. Prince William County, Virginia. Although no royal members reside in Prince William County, its residents are very, very wealthy, with a high conglomeration of filthy rich people per county square mile. It has the 4th largest concentration of millionaires in the whole United States. With the county's population of 470,000 residents, the percentage of the very well-to-do folks is astonishing. Haymarket is the richest city in the county, and many aspiring young professionals call it their home. It's got great schools, eclectic cafes, and museums, which all add to the city's utmost attractiveness. The median household income comes in at about $107,000, but given that the cost of living in Prince William County is only 5.3% more compared to national statistics, it makes residing in the county very comfortable. And it's also true when speaking about its next-door neighbor, Tennessee. Williamson County, Tennessee. Located in the southwestern part of Nashville, Tennessee, this promising and affluent neighborhood of 240,000 people is not at all cheap, comparatively speaking to the rest of the state. The cost of living here is a whopping 14% above the country's average, which makes this area accessible to a very limited number of people. It ranks 7th place as far as income is concerned, with the average household income at about $112,000, which, compared to the cost of living, doesn't seem like a whole lot. But people still get a bang for their buck, creating a very stress-free financial scenario for themselves. As far as real estate goes, the prices are usually proportionate to salaries. The richer the county, the more that you're going to have to shell out for your house. It's pretty normal. An average decent-sized home will cost you around $488,000. And when compared to the national housing price tag, it turns out that Williamson County charges double the price. Well, some people are willing to pay more to live in luxury, and that's exactly what they're doing in this next county. Douglas County, Colorado. With a 17% higher cost of living than the rest of the U.S., Douglas County made it to the top of the richest and most expensive counties not only in the state of Colorado, but nationally. However, one fact makes this county a very pleasant place to live, and that it's just not as populous as some other U.S. counties. One of the most densely populated is actually the aforementioned Fort Bend County on our list. There's about 321,000 people currently nesting in the beautiful Douglas County. The population density became especially relevant for Americans who were wishing to settle in less inhabited territories ever since the COVID-19 pandemic struck. The housing prices are sort of on the crazy end, with some cottages racking up to a whopping $538,000. Hence, Douglas County became one of the most expensive counties in the whole state of Colorado. What can we say? Guilty as charged. But it's still hard for Colorado to compete with the capital of the world, New York County, New York. The Big Apple City, where the East meets West and where all cultures collide. Here, you can get any kind of food that you can think of, listen to any kind of music, and visit New York City's countless museums with featured artists from all over the globe. The city is one of the most expensive and wealthy, not only in the US, but worldwide as well. Tokyo is probably the only one that can compete with New York City in terms of living costs. But honestly, once you see all there is here in the city that never sleeps, it's no surprise why New York County has been landed in the top 10 richest areas. And when we mention New York County, we mean the heart and soul of the Big Apple, Manhattan. The population here soared to almost 9 million people, according to the newest census information, which is really hard to comprehend. That's why many inhabitants feel like they're literally on top of one another, crammed up in teeny tiny apartments, which, by the way, don't come cheap. With the real estate being outrageously pricey, there are a few areas where only the rich and famous can afford to live. These include places like the Upper East Side, Upper West Side, basically the areas adjacent to Central Park, the Greenwich Village, Soho, Tribeca, and Little Italy. A lot of millionaires, billionaires, and various showbiz stars, all of whom are among the richest people on the planet, own an apartment in these neighborhoods, and you can run into them at any time of the day, being followed by a train of paparazzi probably. New York County is one of several U.S. cities where the cost of living largely surpasses the median household income. In fact, we're talking 20.5% above the national average and $64,000 a year respectively. No wonder there's a recent tendency, triggered also by the COVID-19 pandemic, for many New Yorkers to move into less populated areas with much more affordable housing prices. Not only do they move to the neighboring New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut, but also across the country to more remote and rural areas. One such place is Fairfax County, Virginia, and surprisingly enough, it has an even higher cost of living than New York County. Fairfax County, Virginia. Located next to the Washington, D.C. area, it becomes a no-brainer to learn why this place is so expensive to live, especially when your neighbors are the cream of the crop with their government reputation. Ranked at number 7 of the richest counties, with 10 being the most expensive, it encompasses the population of 1.2 million people altogether. Many government employees commute between Fairfax County and Washington, D.C. to their top security office positions, offering a quite hefty paycheck. Well, you kind of deserve it if you're working for the President of the United States. It's kind of an enormous responsibility. The average household income sits at about $124,000, which is more than double the national numbers. And with a 21% hike above the national average in cost of living, this county is definitely one of the most expensive in America. However, with secured government salaries, the MC residents still are pretty rock solid financially and can afford to save a bunch of cash as well as go on vacation to the most expensive resorts in the world. But besides government jobs, the following fields are also in high demand in the county while offering great compensation for employee services. It ranges anywhere from medical care to technical, engineering jobs, and even emergency responders. This next county that we're going to talk about, though, has an even higher concentration of engineers as well as scientists, from chemists and physicists, which are all extremely high-paying jobs. Los Alamos County, New Mexico. This New Mexico county boasts a large concentration of millionaires for such a low population density. In fact, there only sits about 18,630 people living within the popular territory. Los Alamos is translated as popular trees in Spanish. Well, you know what they say, big things come in small packages. You'll definitely need some serious cash to live here, with the cost of living at 21.6% above the national average. That's just a little bit above the Fairfax County's cost of living. You gotta have a great education to secure a job here in one of the county's most high-demand fields, such as the above-mentioned engineering and nuclear science fields. The county is also home to the LANL, the Los Alamos National Nuclear Laboratory, which is where pretty serious stuff has been produced here since the Cold War. While the lab workers are busy designing atomic bombs, people who live near the acid canyon located right here in the county are getting exposed to much radioactive waste. After a while, you'll have to shell out some big bucks to get your health checked. At least one good thing about this county is it's kind of uplifting, and that is that the median household salary is about $121,000 a year. This kind of income will allow you to stretch your budget and live decently, just like the next county on our list, the Washington, D.C. metro area. This county is officially the residence of the U.S. President and many well-to-do government employees. With over 6 million people who on average make about $92,000 a year, this area is one of the richest in the country. Hence, with a hard-to-wrap-your-head-around 39% above the national cost of living, salaries are a little disproportionate to that number. And even with all that, there are still many young and ambitious professionals that continue to flock to the area hoping to make it big in politics. A lot of the locals are buying homes in a DC suburb of Fairfax County, which is the one that we discussed right above. It's become the bedroom community to Washington, D.C., where employees go to rest and recharge for the new business day. With all that being said, this county will never bear the next county's cost of living price tag. The San Francisco Bay Area, California. At a whopping 80% higher cost of living compared to the national average, this county is topping the charts as probably being the richest in the country. After all, you pretty much need to either be loaded or have a loaded relative to afford to live here. In fact, San Fran has been placed 9th in the cumulative number of billionaires living here. Its population is a little higher in comparison to the above-mentioned Washington, D.C. at 7.8 million people. The median household income is $112,000, with many houses being the biggest spending chunk.